The UK's terror threat level has been raised from substantial to severe. It is the second highest ranking and classifies an attack on the UK as highly likely. The situations in Syria and Iraq have been given as the primary reason for the change.
What we're facing in Iraq now with ISIL is a greater and deeper threat to our security than we have known before. With ISIL, we are facing a terrorist organisation not being hosted in a country, but actually seeking to establish and then violently expand its own terrorist state.
There's a trove of information that the magazine has outlined. I mean, weaponizing the bubonic plague is just sort of, it's terrifying for the average reader to see that sort of thing. But generally speaking and overall, what was the most alarming aspect of your find?
The most alarming thing I would say is that document on the biological weapons. It's an Arabic document. It's a 19-page document. The title is in red, Biological Weapons, and in it they describe how to basically make biological weapons, how to make the bubonic plague, and how to weaponize it. They go in details about where you can get certain bacteria, how you can cultivate it in labs, and how later you can transmit it into human beings, into animals first and then into human beings. They say that the use of the advantages of biological weapons is that it can kill a lot of people at a very low cost, and they actually state 3 ways in which they would distribute biological weapons. They speak about distribution through air, through food, and through water.
The idea that bubonic plague is possibly in their arsenal is stunning. And according to files on this laptop, I'd like to know, how would they create and launch such a weapon?
Very difficult to say, but they have a manual for it, and we found it on the laptop. What I think is very important and what is kind of worrisome are 3 elements. We have basically a Tunisian national, a chemistry student, who traveled to Syria, joined ISIS, and who carries this manual of biological weapons on his laptop, who clearly has an interest in trying to develop it. These 3 factors make it very worrisome. How far they are, we don't know. Maybe the guy, the laptop owner, maybe he's dead. We don't know. But we know that there's a certain interest among ISIS people with a science background into developing these kind of terrible diseases. There are other documents in like how to steal cars. They're all kind of related to jihad. So it's like how to steal cars, how to make rockets, how to make bombs. Basically, it's how to destroy the world, in short. Also, we found documents of how to get fake passports, how to travel from one jihadi hotspot in the world to another jihadi hotspot in the world without being caught by the authorities. So yes, it's for sure a very interesting laptop that we got.
How to destroy the world, a chilling summer.
The world watches the ISIS army carry out atrocities in Iraq. Many are concerned about the growing threat here at home. At least 100 Americans are believed to be fighting with ISIS, and some of those fighters will return one day.
Authorities believe as many as 6,000 foreign nationals who arrived in the U.S. on student visas have vanished. They were taking advantage of a program that includes Harvard, Yale, and other major institutions.
They just disappear.
It's how one of the 9/11 hijackers got into the country before flying a jet into the Pentagon. And an ABC News investigation found that the visa loophole still has not been fixed.
It's been pointed out over and over and over again. And the fact that nobody's done anything about it yet, that's a very dangerous thing for all of us.
This at a time when the Saudi king has warned that Islamic State terrorists are likely to attack Europe and the U.S. before the end of the year, if there is not a strong international response soon.
The American economy and American workers are better off than when I took office.
While President Obama was touting an improving economy in Wisconsin, the terror group known as ISIS released the 3rd issue of its English-language online magazine, complete with pictures of the group executing Syrian soldiers and blowing up the homes of those who cooperate with police. The slickly produced publication calls the beheading of U.S. journalist James Foley a cooling balm for the believers' hearts, and claims Foley's blood is on Obama's hands because of airstrikes he ordered against ISIS fighters in Iraq, 123 strikes in all since the start of August. But the group's center of power is in Syria, and President Obama admitted last week the U.S. still does not have a strategy for confronting ISIS there.
دولة الإسلام. دولة الإسلام. دولة الإسلام.